How's everybody doing out there? I am Solican, and I just want to go ahead and get into this message very quickly. I want to ask, for Christians, why is it? I mean, I know that, we have this, the one section of the New Testament where God comes to Peter and he speaks of things being unclean and don't call things unclean that he's made clean. And we also have the verse that says what goes into a man is not what defiles him, but it's what comes out of his mouth. But still, I want to know, as Christians, why do you not follow the dietary laws that are laid out in Leviticus? Even secular people should understand this once I get into it and explain it. Explain why God said, to eat certain animals and why not to. That's even understood by some secular people. See, some secular people, people don't even have to use the Bible, but they pick and choose which foods that they want to eat. Like, you don't see many people eating bats. You don't see many people going outside and digging up worms. When they could do that, like, it's plentiful. Like, you don't see many people going out and, like I said, just eating certain things. They don't even, some people are vegetarians, some people are vegan, some people don't eat, they have all types of diets. Some people only eat fish. I know people like that. My mom just, she eats a lot of seafood and, doesn't really like beef and stuff like that. But for Christians, this is biblical. Like, God told you which animals to eat. Or do you just have to, go eat a snail? Look at that thing. Like, look at it. People in France, they eat snails. People like, oh, that's the culture. Look at that thing. Does that look like something that you want to eat? You got to put all type of spices and put, saute it in butter and do all this other stuff. But that's not something that, if you could just look at it, it's not something you want to eat. Let's go into this. What God tells us that we should eat is clean and unclean food. This is in the book of Leviticus, and this is chapter 11. And it said, the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, say to the Israelites, of all the animals that live on the land, these are the ones you may eat. You may eat any animal that has a split hoof, completely divided, and that chews the cud. So you have a lot of things to choose from: bison, deer, elk, of course cows. You could, and these things are, man, have you ever had some deer meat? That's good. Elk, like you barbecuing some beef ribs. Man, have you seen them barbecue places with them ribs? One beef rib will fill you up. You don't need how they have them pork ribs. You need a whole slab. Some people eating 2 slabs of pork ribs. Man, you only need one beef rib. One beef rib will get you right. Like, for real. And it says, you have people eating camels, people eating camel humps and stuff like that. Man, that's nothing but fat. That's not good. Like, the meat, that's not good meat at the end of the day. Now, that's a cultural thing that people will do that. But God tells you, which animals to eat and which ones not to. It said the camel, though it chews the cud, does not have a split hoof. It's ceremonially unclean for you. The coney, though it chews the cud, does not have a split hoof. It is unclean for you. The rabbit, though it chews the cud, does not have a split hoof, though it's unclean for you. Do you really want to eat a rabbit? Like, people have them for pets. Look at a rabbit. Look at it. Just look at it. Do you really want to eat him? Do you want to eat a bunny? It's a bunny. Like, no. Some people, like I said, they are vegetarians, but we're not on that tip. Like, God tells you what, he made it clear what you can eat and, and what you can't. People eat meat. You need tons of vegetables to get protein and stuff like that. Like, we're meant to eat meat. That's what we're meant to do. You know, if God said when he smelt the sacrifice that of the of the burnt offering, that he smelled that aroma and it was good. God said that. So we're not on the vegetarian time. But let's continue. It says, and the pig, though it has a split hoof, completely divided, does not chew the cud, and it's unclean for you. We know pigs are filthy animals. Pork, man, people didn't went pork crazy. It's pork in everything. It was pork in gummy bears, gelatin and all. Like, they use it for everything, and that's how people are getting unhealthy. People used to eat hog maws, pig intestines, pork chops all the time. All this stuff, high sodium levels. Pork is unclean, and things, can make you unclean, like, meaning that it'll make your body not function. If you continue to eat a lot of it, bacon, you eating bacon all the time, you're going to have high blood pressure, straight up. You're going to have high blood pressure. Yes. And I mean, I ain't saying you should be eating a steak every day as well. We also have to do things in moderation. But pigs are unclean animals. They around there eating slop. They around there eating all type of nasty stuff. And you should be thinking about eating, like, unto God. Like, when you take things in your vessel, like, you intake those things that it's ate. Like, when you eating that, you taking on all of the bacteria, all the things that it's eaten. Sometimes you can kill a lot of it, with cooking. Yeah, most of it you kill, but still, you taking on the uncleanness of that pig, of what it's eating. When you look at a bison, cows, they constantly eating grass. That's what they eat. Like, unless, people try to, get them some specific type of feed, or, for the most part, that's what they eat. That's all they eat. Bison out there grazing, they chewing the cud. That's it. They're vegetarian. The meat is good. It said, of all the creatures living in the water and of the seas and the streams, you may eat that which have fins and scales. Those are fish. Not clams, not lobsters. Lobsters are bottom feeders. They eating fish poo. Look at a catfish. What is a catfish? Is that even a real, like, man, what is that? Is that a hybrid animal? Like, them catfish are ugly, man. I wouldn't want to eat one of them if I saw it and tried. Like, if I caught you catch a trout, or you catch, a codfish, you could look at it, you catch a tilapia. You like, all right, yeah, this got scales on it, descale it, toss that thing on the grill. It looks edible. A catfish doesn't even look like a natural animal. It's ugly. It's disgusting looking. Lobsters eating fish poo. They have those sucker fish. Like, what you eat, people trying to, like, what you eat one of them, they cleaning the tanks. They down there, suck a lot. Octopus will clean your tank. If it's eating all of the bacteria, all of the leftover stuff, everything that's, discarded. It's scavenging. It's eating fish poop. But you want to eat that? See, God is just telling you practical common sense. Like, and those things weren't clean for the Israelites. Why do you, want to eat them now? Because, you read some verses that you may have taken out of context. You still going to be, they're still filthy animals. You go try to eat certain fish, you might get a disease from eating them. Or you might upset your stomach from eating certain things like that. Throw your body ecosystem off. Now you're already not getting the vitamins that you need. So now you didn't toss your whole body ecosystem off. Have you ever noticed why they put lobsters? They charge you so much for lobster, but they put them in a separate tank. When you go to Red Lobster, just pay attention to that. The lobsters are housed in a separate tank away from all other marine life. Why? Because they're filthy. They dirty up the tank. Can't no other animal survive in there. I mean, fish or something like that. The fish will probably be diseased, and and they couldn't survive in that ecosystem. The lobsters in there being nasty by themselves. They're sea roaches, but yet you pay tons of money for them. Think about that. You pay tons of money for that stuff. And before you cook a crab, you know, people love crab legs. Before you cook a crab, crack it open. Pour, you know, you saw on Castaway. Crack it open, and its flesh is liquefied. Do you wanna? Would you go eat? Would you go grab a cockroach outside? They plentiful. Which go like what you go do? Put a lot of poop, put a lot of garbage in one spot, and watch how cockroaches accumulate. If you want to catch a lot of them, man, and bon appetit. Would you eat them? You wouldn't. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't go eat a cockroach. And so why are you eating sea roaches? Because people have convinced you, you know, that it's a delicacy. Your mind have been convinced that that's what's going on, and they charge you a lot for it. Same with escargot snails and stuff. You think it's a delicacy, they charge you a lot for it. People go out and eating poisonous fish and stuff like that just because, you know, it's an aphrodisiac. It's this. You eating oysters and not, like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But see, God told you the things to eat, man. Have you ever had a swordfish, man? Swordfish tastes like fish steak. Like that's good eating. Like, you know, if you really want to eat good, like try those things. Like actually think out, you know, think along the lines of what God is telling you. You know, ain't nobody going out trying to hunt no rodents. If you going back bringing, say a person go hunting, two people go hunting, one bring back a deer or an elk, you know, and another bring back some badgers and some groundhogs and you know, and big rats. Which one would you rather eat? Which one? Or even if somebody bring home an alligator or a snake, and then he hunt a snake, and then a person got a bison. Which one you gonna pick? I'd take the bison steaks, man. You know? So I just wanna, you know, even the birds, like, we're gonna continue, man. Like, I'm gonna make this a 2-part video. So, cause it's a lot to cover here. You know, it says and this is still chapter 11, verse 11. Say, that shall even be abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh. You shall have their carcasses an abomination. It said all that move in the waters and any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination to you. Even their carcasses an abomination. So that means like lobsters, those things, if they even dead, you should be looking at them like, I'm not finna pick that up and eat it. And it says, and this is verse 13. It says, and they are these which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle and the ostrich and the osprey. Would you go eat an eagle? Like, look at that thing. It's majestic. Like, you know, it's not, you don't have many of them. Do you see eagles often? Oh, you just gonna go shoot it and eat it? When you got tons of pigeons around. Look at them, how fat those little pigeons are. You don't want none of that? They fat. They be eating grain and stuff like that. You know, yeah, you see them in the city eating bagels and stuff, but look how fat they are. You know, it says, and the vulture and the kite, every raven of its kind, the owl, the nighthawk, the cuckoo, and the hawk after its kind. You shouldn't be eating them. Who want to eat an owl? It ain't even much meat on it. Those things are light. Those things are just like fluffy little air pockets. You gonna try to hunt it and eat an owl? Man, you have to eat about 20 of them. Would you eat a vulture? I don't care how, you could be starving. I would go eat bugs before I ate a vulture. Ask yourself, would you do that? No. You know, these are things that you should stay away from. The little owl, the cormorant, the great owl, the swan, the pelican, the gyre eagle. Who gonna eat a swan? Look, again, it's a majestic type of animal. And these things also are birds of prey. You know, like the hawk and the raven. Like, well, who wants to eat a raven? I wouldn't eat a raven. And the hawk, like the hawk is eating meat. Again, it's not many of them. There's They are. I think those animals are majestic animals as well. Look at them, like, but they birds of prey. So it's to stay away from them. The stork, the heron, the pelican. You see how pelicans eat fish. The lapwing, the bat. I mean, again, who wants to eat a bat? Would you eat a bat? Does that even a bat? Does that even look edible to you? Just in your right mind? Now, if you're starving, like I said, it's things like if you're starving, God's telling you the things that are plentiful to eat. Like, and I'm gonna continue with that because there's more things. It says, yes, these may ye eat of every flying, creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, and leap withal upon the earth. Even these of them ye may eat: the locust, the ball locust. You can eat the locust after its kind, the ball locust after its kind, the beetle after its kind, and the grasshopper after its kind. So, but all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination to you. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. So God is giving you can eat the locust of his kind, the beetle, grasshopper of his kind, and the ball locust. You can't find those bugs in plenty. You can find them plentifully. Grasshoppers, beetles, crickets, all them things you can find. Like, you can find them pretty plentifully. Now, it also says, these also shall be unclean. I'm jumping here to verse 29. And it's still chapter 11. All of this you can find in chapter 11 of the book of Leviticus. So, in verse 29, it says, these also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth: the weasel, the mouse, the tortoise. So turtle meat, turtle soup. And who want to eat a turtle, man? Like, it's got a shell in it. It's a reptile. But I don't want to eat a turtle. I mean, like, people keep turtles as pets. Like, turtles do a lot for the earth. Turtles are in the sea. Like, they don't mess with nobody. Like, don't nobody want to eat a turtle. I mean, who is slimy? Like, who even thinks to eat a turtle? The weasel, the mouse, the tortoise. Don't nobody, like, I don't even have to explain that. Would you eat a weasel? The ferret, the chameleon, and the lizard, the snail, and the mole. So the lizard, nobody wants to eat lizard meat. Nobody. Like, you don't. You just, like, nobody says, man, I just cooked this chameleon and the thing that changed colors and do all these things. Oh, it was great. You have to eat about 40 of them. You have to, who want to eat a iguana? Look at that thing. Look how hard its hide is. Well, it's like, man, again, you can, try to be like these things. You could say these things are done away with. But again, I ask you as a Christian, why would you even just try to go against the grain and do it anyway? Like, why? Just because you want to get the taste of something? Like, man, think about your state of your heart. Like I said, when you eat things, you give thanks for this food. Give us this day our daily bread. You eat unto the Lord's glory. We do everything unto the Lord's glory. So those things you put in your body, like, you should be giving him glory for that. Like, how you going to be doing that? You eating a snake, eating a serpent. You over there eating a weasel. Like, a sea roach that eats fish poop. The Lord said, be holy as I am holy. You understand? And this, I believe this is in all things. Keep yourself clean. Now, look, hey, man, you might be out, and you feel like it's just you. Hey, it's catfish that's out. It's on the menu. That's what I got to get. And you don't. But come on, man, you could eat something else. You can. I just read you, and pretty much explained it in practical terms. So with that being said, this is The Awakening. I'm Super Salikin. Peace and blessings to those who listen to the end. I'm gone.